F is the set of factors of 12. List the 6. We're given the information here, the 6 elements of F. What are factors? They multiply to give 12. 1 by 12, 2 by 6, 3 by 4. And you can write them in any order, but let's try and be neat and tidy about the order. Then we're told P is the set of all prime numbers and S is the set of all square numbers. And the Venn diagram below shows the sets F, P, and S. And F is highlighted in black here, because in the following part it tells you, write each of the factors of 12 from part A into the correct region in the set F. So it's only in the set F. We can put our 6 numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Which ones of them are prime? 2 and 3. Square numbers are 1 and 4. 1 squared and 2 squared, and these are just factors. So it looks like there's no intersection of all 3. So there's nothing in there. The square numbers, here's my S, here's my P, and here's my F. So the square numbers, 1 and 4, I can put in here, 1 and 4, give them dots so they don't look like 14. The prime numbers, 2 and 3, in here, 2 and 3, and the factors that are left, 6 and 12. Question 2, part A, substitution. Given P and T, work out the value of 3P, 3 by 6, minus 4T squared, minus 4 by 5 squared. Just type it into your calculator, it'll give you the answer. If you do it manually, 18 minus 4 times 25 is 18 minus 100, which is minus 82. Multiply out and simplify this guy. 2x by all 3 of these, 2x by 4, 8x, 2x by minus 5x is minus 10x. 2x by plus x squared is plus 2x cubed. Then we have minus 3 by all of these guys. So minus 3 by plus 4 is minus 12. Minus 3 by minus 5x is plus 15x. I'm going to line the like terms underneath each other and then add them together. And lastly, I have minus 3 by plus x squared is minus 3x squared. And the square didn't appear there when I typed it in. So we have minus 3x squared underneath the minus 10x squared. So we normally write ascending pairs of x down. So let's start with the 2x cubed. Then the x squared, we have minus 13x squared. We have 8x plus 15x is plus 23x. And we have minus 12. The mistakes in that question, you'll be getting your signs wrong. There's the solution again, in case you didn't get it. Part C is a 4-term factorization. I'm going to put the first one and the third one together. There's a 5e in both of them. That would leave 2d to get 10de, and would leave a minus, and to get 5ef, we're missing an f. The key to these questions, the second bracket has to be the same, otherwise you've made a mistake. And what do I have to put in front of it to get 2d squared minus df? Well, we can say there's a d, that gives 2d squared, and it gives minus df if the sign's a plus, and gives plus 2d squared, so we can see we're correct. So we have 5e and d, both of them, by 2d minus f. That's the fully correct answer. Question 3 is factorize and solve. X squared is equal to 4x. Bring it across. X squared minus 4x is equal to 0. With these quadratics, there's 2 solutions. So if we factorize it, we get x times x minus 4. So to make this 0, x has to be 0 here. Or the long way of doing it, we say the whole bracket is equal to 0. So x is equal to plus 4 for my 2 solutions for part A. The second one is a straightforward factorization. The only way to get x squared with 2 brackets is x times x. The only way to get 21 is 3 by 7 or 1 by 21. And you should see 3 and 7 is the only way to get near 4. So logic kind of gets you into these questions. So we have to have a 7 and a 3. How do we get plus 4x? Well, it would have to be plus 7x minus 3x. So the long way. X minus 3 is equal to 0. Let each bracket equal 0. It's the only way to have a product that something times something will be equal to 0. One of them has to be equal to 0, or both. So we say x plus 7 is equal to 0. So x is equal to plus 3, and hopefully you see the pattern now. We just change the sign of what's in the bracket for now, when it's just the x in the bracket. So this one is x is equal to minus 7. You can see the plus has changed to a minus. So what we're actually doing is we're putting the 7 over the 1 that's in front of the x and changing the sign, and that works every time. Part C requires you not to panic and just multiply out the brackets and bring the 8x and the minus 24 across. So we're going to have, you might see the difference of two squares here. It's going to be x squared minus 9 because we have x squared plus 3x minus 3x minus 9. You don't have to put in the 3x's if you can identify its difference of two squares. And you can write equals 8x minus 24, or you can bring them across in one step. Minus 8x plus 24 is equal to 0. So now just tidy it up and see what's left. We have x squared. The only x we have is minus 8x. And we have 24 take away 9, which is plus 15 equals 0. So now we're back to question B, where we have to factorize and solve. X times x. Looks like 5 and 3 here to get minus 8. And you guys know if the minus sign in the middle and a plus sign at the end, it has to be two minuses. And we add the numbers together to get the middle term. So 3 and 5 is 8. 3 by 5 is 15. So my solutions, x equals plus 3 and x equals plus 5. X squared minus 64 is a carry on from this question. It's the difference of two squares. X minus 8 by x plus 8 equals 0. So you either kind of know them or you don't. You can't really guess these questions. You've either put the work in or you haven't. X is equal to plus 8 or minus 8. You would have done many questions like this in preparation for the test. And then part D is a different one. We have 2x squared. So a little bit of a challenge for second years, but we have a 3 at the end, which is prime, as is the number 2, which is a follow on from the prime number question. So let's see the answer to this. So your teachers may use the guide method, but the only way to get 2x squared if we multiply two brackets is 2x times x. And the only way to get 3 is 3 by 1. So it's either a 3 here and a 1 here, or a 3 here and a 1 here. So if you write both brackets out, your mathematical brain will tell you which one you're going to use. So how do I get minus 5x? Well, in the bottom bracket, I have a 6x and a 1x. I can get 5x. In the top bracket, I have a 3x and a 2x. I can get 5x. So what's going on here? So now I got to think about the signs. I want a plus 3 and I want a minus sign in the middle. So they both have to be minuses. So put two minuses in and see what happens. Top bracket, we know we have 2x squared and we know we have plus 3. We have minus 2x and minus 3x in this one. So we do have, in fact, minus 5x. In the bottom one, we have minus 6x for this arrow, and we have minus x for this one. We get minus 7x. So they're very similar, but the top bracket works, the bottom bracket doesn't. So I'm just going to write it again. 2x minus 3 by x minus 1. So this is a bit of trial and error. So in this case, x is equal to, you put the 3 over the 2 and you change the sign, or x is equal to just change the sign when it's x in the bracket. Question 4 is a statistics question. Bar chart, and we're told Ella carries out a survey on 25 students in her class to see how many use Spotify and Netflix. Some of her results are shown, so some are shown in the bar chart below and some more are shown in the Venn diagram, where U is the set of all students in the class. Use the results shown to complete the bar chart and the Venn diagram. So you can see here that 3 people like Spotify only. This one here, it's a sideways bar chart. 4 like Spotify and Netflix, so we have to put in 2 more bars. So what other information are we given? Got our 3 and our 4. We're given this 10 for Netflix only. Here, so this is Netflix only. 10 here. Put your line across. Use a ruler in the exam. Join it up. I'd like to put 10 in just to see, have I got the right amount of people in the survey, which we saw was 25 at the start. So how many are missing? We want 25 in total. We currently have 10, 3 and 4, which is 17. So how many are missing? 25 minus 17, which is 8. So that's 8. Neither Spotify nor Netflix will go on the outside. We can then put that on the bar chart. And here, just put your ruler, make sure you're up against 8 and not 7. And then we can fill in the other information down below. Spotify only is 3. Spotify and Netflix is 4. Just double check. Netflix only 10. Yes. 3 and 4, 7 and 10 is 17, and 8 is 25. So we're all looking good here for this question. This question says, work out the total number of students who use Spotify. So you might just put a 3 in here, but the total is the 3 plus the 4, which is 7, because Spotify is the whole circle. And explain in your own words the meaning of this. The number of elements in n less s. Well, Netflix less Spotify is this one here. So this is the number of elements, or actually in words, the number of elements in Netflix only. F-L-I-X only. Or another variation of this will be fine too. Question 5 is describe each of the following sets and be as specific as possible. The set of natural numbers, and you're given this n here. Counting numbers is my favorite way of describing natural numbers. We start with the number 1 when we're counting. Or you could say positive whole numbers, because then we can say down here for integers, we can say positive and negative whole numbers. And then on the next we have an inequality. So graph this inequality. So we're told x is an element of real numbers, so that's where we put our circle and either color it in, or we put our circle and don't color it in. N is where we put dots, and integers is also where we put dots. So that's the key studying material for this one. We have -3, it's not less than or equal to, or we'd have that symbol. So this is where we circle the -3 and we don't color it in because it doesn't have this symbol. So we're going to circle the number 2 as well, and we are going to color it in because it has the less than or equal to symbol. And then we just have to highlight the line to show that it's all the numbers in between. Real numbers include all decimals, whereas if it was positive whole numbers, we just put dots on them like this. And then the last part, part C, one of the factors of 8x squared plus 45x minus 18 is x plus 6. So that means that x plus 6 multiplied by something has to give this guy. So there's one way to do it. So you'd have to have 8x here to get 8x squared, and you'd have to have -3 to get minus 18. You could multiply this out and see, does it work? 8x squared minus 3x, x by -3. 6 by 8x is plus 48x, and 6 by 3, these two sums is minus 18, and you can see we do get 8x squared plus 45x minus 18. So kind of with these easy division questions, that's the easiest way to do this division question. You could use the box method or many other methods, but the answer here is x plus 6 by 8x minus 3. Question 6, we have a diagram of Tom's ladder leaning against a vertical wall. So it's a triangle. I always tell my lads, take that triangle out and put the information on it that we're given. 5, 3, and then it doesn't matter what the question is about. It could be a ladder against a wall, it could be anything. We're told it makes an angle of B, put that in as well, with the horizontal ground. So we know from these triangles we can find anything out once we have 2 pieces of information. The vertical height is y, we can see over here. And it says use Pythagoras to find y. So the square root of the diagonal squared minus the straight side squared. You may identify this as a 3, 4, 5 triangle, but 4 meters will be the height of the vertical wall. Then we have 3 statements about the angle B in the diagram. Put a tick in the box to show which one is true, and it does say tick one box only. So what is it? Is it cos, sine, or tan? Well, it's not 2 straight sides, so it's not tan. We have the hypotenuse, h, and we have the side adjacent to the angle, so A and H from your knowledge of SOHCAHTOA. the only one with A and H in it is cos. So you can see here the cos of B, which is the next part, find the angle, is equal to A over H off to the side, which is 3 over 5. So the inverse cos of 0.6 or 3 over 5 gives the angle B is equal to 53.13 degrees. One decimal place, 53.1 degrees. Question 7, this probability question. The 8 coins from €2 down are given here, and Barry has one of each. He puts his hand in his pocket and picks one coin at random. Fill in the table below to show the probability of each of the sets P, S, and T. Now, it's just a probability question. He picks a €2 coin. There's one of them out of a total of 8 of them, 1 over 8. Then he picks a coin worth less than 50 cents. Well, less than 50 cents is not that one. It's that one on the 4 below. So there's 5 of them below 50 cents. So 5 over 8. And the fraction line is given to you here. You don't even have to draw it. And then Barry picks a €3 coin, which there is no fraction involved. It's impossible. So the reason they're calling them P, S, and T is so we can put them on the probability scale below. So it's broken into quarters, halves here. So 1 over 8, 2 over 8. This would be 2 over 8, 1 over 8, and so on. So they're all in 8. So Barry picks a €2 coin. Is here. P. 0 is impossible. That was T. And S was 5 over 8. Well, the halfway will be 4 over 8. So this one has to be 5 over 8 for S. So here we have a 3-set question with X in it. And I'm jumping in straight away. X have WhatsApp and Snapchat, but not Instagram. WhatsApp and Snapchat. Here's my W and my S and my I. So WhatsApp and Snapchat is this one here, but not Instagram, so I can't go into it. So that's my X in this question. We want to fill that in straight away. So now starting at the top, 36 have WhatsApp, take them off as you go. 40 have Instagram. 54 have Snapchat. And now we've only given 3 more pieces of information. 8 have all 3 down here. I'm going to put that in, 8. 14 have WhatsApp and Instagram. WhatsApp and Instagram is all of this. Just be careful not to put 14 in above 8. That would be the mistake. It's just to throw 14 in there. But actually 14 is both of those sectors, so there can only be 6 in there to make it 14. And then 24 have Instagram and Snapchat. Similarly, it's the same thing over here. Instagram and Snapchat is this whole sector. So if it's 24, there's 16 missing. You can see if I put 24 into this sector and 14 over here, we'd have already more than 40 in it. So you can kind of identify your mistake in this question if that's what you've done. 16 and 6 is 22 and 8 is 30, leaving 10 in here. You could write that out, 16 plus 8 plus 6. Underneath we have 54 to go in the box. Now I already have 8 and 16, which is 24 in there, so there's 30 left. So that 8 plus 16 is 24. So there's 30 left to give me my 54. So I have to put 30. So if I put 30 here, and I already have this X, and I say minus X, now I've just got 30 between this one and this one. And similarly up above we have 6 and 8. This 6 and 8, we have 14 in there. This one and this one. So to get 36, there's 22 left. So there it is, there's 22. So now I have 36, but I have this X as well. So I have to say minus X to make sure that I still only have 36 in there. And now we're asked to find the value of X, given that there's 80 students in the class, which is part B. So I'll do it up above here. We're told there's 80 in total. So just add everything together. We know already in I we have 40. So that accounts for everything inside this circle. 40. So we've only got 3 sectors left. I have my 22 minus X. I have my X. And I have my 30 minus X. So if I add all these together, they have to equal 80. 40 and 22 is 62 and 30 is 92. And then if I combine my x's, x and minus x cancel, leaving me with just minus x. So 92 take away 12 is 80. So x is equal to 12. So we always get a minus x in this question. So that's 3 sets question complete. Finally, question 9, coordinate geometry. The diagram below shows the map of Ireland on a coordinate grid. Each unit on the grid is 1 centimetre. The point B represents Bantry and H represents Howth. We're asked to write down the coordinates of B and H. So here's B. You can see out 3, up 1. So B is the point 3, 1. H is out 8, it looks like. Just double check by doing a dotted line there. Yeah, we're out 8 and we're up. Just do a bit of a dotted line across, up to 5. So H is 8, 5. Why am I writing them like this? Because we're asked to join the line together and find the midpoint. Now, I know you guys can find the distance and everything at this point in the second year, but this is all that's on the second year test. Add the x's together, 11. Add the y's together, 6. That's add, and then divide by 2 to get the midpoint, which is what the formula will tell you to do, x1 plus x2 over 2. So we divide by 2, we're going to get 5.5 and 3, which is my midpoint. Now I'm just going to put it on the diagram just to check if it ends up here or something we know we're wrong. So 5.5 is here. So let's go up to 5.5. Let's see, up to 3. Does it work? Yeah, it does. You can see we're absolutely perfect. Midpoint 5.5, 3. From Bantry to Howth, somewhere in South Tipperary.